All right, let me talk to you about a young man that's about to come on the show for the first time today. This is a running back for San Diego State who this past weekend really put himself on the radar. Now, it's not that he hadn't played in the past. It's just that when you go from what San Diego State has had, Donnell Pumphrey, into Rashad Penny, now into Juwan Washington, this is a guy who's waiting his turn. His name is Chase Jasmin. Had a really nice game for San Diego State. 19 carries, 116 yards, scored a touchdown, and then had a late fumble, one that really could have turned the game. But, man, this kid was on fire. Let's get to know this young man, Chase Jasmin, running back, San Diego State, for the first time on Scott and BR. What's up, Chase?
How's it going, Scott?
It's going great, man. Yourself?
Can't complain. Doing pretty good.
Yeah. Dude, let me start off with the bad. We'll move over to the good. The fumble late in the game, and the only reason I want to bring it up is because obviously it was a huge, important play in the game, but the announcers and I don't know if you've gone back and watched the game footage of the television broadcast.
Yeah.
Dude, they're focused in on you. Like, this kid's having such a nice night. He's going to turn out to be the GOAT tonight. I mean, they're going to just – this kid fumbled after having such a nice performance. Arizona State may come back and win this game, and they are focused on you on the sideline, dude. What were you feeling like after, unfortunately, fumbling that ball and giving Arizona State some life?
You kind of go from the hero to the villain really quick. I was just nervous that I might have given them a chance to come back into the game, maybe pull out a win after we just felt like we solidified a dub. So honestly, I was just shaking in my boots, hoping they couldn't make anything happen on offense and our D could stop them, because I wasn't feeling too good about that fumble.
Yeah, dude, I could understand, but you had such a great night. What happened when Juwan, I guess, had an injury, and then it was your turn, and it wasn't like, hey, we've got our backup running back. They ran the offense. You carried the ball 19 times for over 100 yards. What was it like at that moment when it was time?
Kind of surreal, I've been here. I'm a redshirt sophomore, so I've been here 3 years, and finally, sitting on the sideline watching people play, watching greats like Rashad and Donnell Pumphrey, and finally getting to go in and have my chance. It's the lights were on, and I was ready to go. I was nervous, but I wasn't afraid. So
yeah. And by the way, this wasn't playing San Jose State and rushing for 82 yards on 14 carries, which was prior to this that was sort of your one performance thus far. I mean, this was Arizona State. This was Saturday night. This was national TV. This was the lights are on at Qualcomm Stadium. I mean, this was a really big moment for you to come in and have the kind of performance you did.
I mean, I had a good performance, but it's not possible without the O-line. The O-line was absolutely dominating. And, running behind them, I'm sure one of you guys could get in there and rush for, a couple first downs. It's not too hard when behind that O-line. So, I thank the O-line and the play calling to just put me in a good position to help me make plays.
And we're talking to Chase Jasmin, sophomore running back from San Diego State, had 116 yards in the win over Arizona State. Bert, do you believe what Chase Jasmin just said, that you or I could have rushed for over 100 yards behind that San Diego State offensive line? How do you feel about that?
I think he's being very modest, kind of like you were in college.
The way I was?
Yeah. You remember when you made that field goal and you did the cabbage patch? And we were down by 38 points.
I don't remember that exactly.
That's not modesty, but what he's being is modest. You, on the other hand, were an ass. But partly because we were down by 38 points. I mean, but, you made a field goal, so it was cool.
So catching was out at that moment?
So could you imagine that today? You're down by 38. I don't even know why we kick a field goal down by 38. The field goal kicker makes it and then does the cabbage patch right there on the field.
What if John Barron, who hit a 54-yard field goal and became the Mountain West Conference Player of the Week for special teams, what if John Barron would have cabbage patched after his 54-yard field goal, Chase?
I think our whole sideline would have gotten pretty turned with him. I think we all would have started cabbage patching with him.
Couple problems here, Chase.
We would have gotten a penalty, either or.
Chase, couple problems here. He wasn't the Big East Player of the Week when this happened, and it was a 32-yarder, just for the record. And we were down by 38 points.
To our rival.
So it went over real good.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Chase, you don't have to get involved in this.
Yeah.
Mess. Don't mind us, Chase.
We
It'll
have
be
issues.
30 years from your college teammates will be teasing each other about the same stuff. Like, Chase, remember that fumble that night against Arizona State? And then you're going to come back with, yeah, dude, but we won the game, right?
Hell yeah. My teammates are always calling me about it, but they know I'm lighthearted, so I can joke around about it because as long as we won, I'm not going to be too salty about it.
You had another classic game, Bert, that you're not bringing up, which is the game that I missed 4 field goals in, but we still won that game too. Still won that game.
Wow.
Just wanted to bring that up. So, dude, talk to us about Eastern Michigan now. Don't know much about the next opponent. Just know that San Diego State was not impressive score-wise against Sacramento State, but Arizona State was coming in impressive with a win over Michigan State. Then all of a sudden, San Diego State beats down.
And Herm Edwards' alma mater, they had to be fired up for that.
And look, I don't mean to say it like San Diego State was in control of that game and had a 14-point lead late in that game. Yes, they rallied late. Yes, there was a fumble. And yes, Arizona State might claim that we were on the verge of winning. But the game was in control halfway through the fourth quarter. So San Diego State now, with this impressive win over Arizona State, takes on Eastern Michigan. I don't know anything about Eastern Michigan, but now I have high expectations that San Diego State wins this game. What can you tell us about these guys?
They're a really tough team. What Coach Long always tells us is the worst thing you can be on a football field is soft. And this team that we're playing against this week is definitely not soft. They come from a tough division, so we're not taking them lightly at all. We don't take anyone lightly. And we don't really focus on the past either. It's a week at a time, 1 week at a time. What happened last week with Arizona is in the past, and now it's the whole focus is on Eastern Michigan, and we're going to play each game every week like a championship.
Chase Jasmin, sophomore running back, 116 yards rushing this past Saturday night against Arizona State.
Soft. So to give you an example of soft. Soft would be like if you had a Jewish kicker from Miami come up east and make a field goal in a rivalry game and then do the cabbage patch. That's soft.
You would consider that soft?
That would be soft.
Is that what you think,
There's
Chase?
nobody like that in Eastern Michigan, he's saying.
That's not soft. That's more just that's fun.
Yeah, you see
Soft
that kid back
Chase
then.
is just too nice.
Kid
You're
had-
too nice, Chase.
That kid had swag doing that cabbage patch down by 38.
Oh, I bet it was just you just dripping with the swagoo.
Oh, you know it.
Do you
dude.
think he still says the bomb? Ask him if they
Dude, do
still
you ever
use
tell
that.
anybody that they're the bomb?
No, I haven't heard that in a minute.
Oh, okay.
What
You
about
ever-
what was your other one?
Okay, let me ask you this: when you leave someplace, do you ever say like, "Yo, dude, I'm going to bounce"?
No, that's not really part of my lingo.
No. How about dip? Do you dip?
Yeah, we do dip.
All right,
How about
so you-
biatch? Does anybody use that anymore? Man, we got to
No,
update
that's-
it. All right, we're out.
It's obsolete.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Chase Jasmin. He's a young guy.
Hip
He's
young
a San
guy.
Diego State superstar running back.
He said you're obsolete.
He did not say that.
He said your vocabulary is obsolete.
Well, listen. He also thinks my cabbage patch is cool, and it's coming back in a big way. Chase, what's going to happen now to your playing time? I mean, you've obviously shown this coaching staff, you've shown this fan base that when called upon, you're ready to perform. What happens with Juwan this week with his injury? I mean, how much playing time do you expect to get?
Honestly, it's I expect to whenever Juwan's gassed or whenever he needs a little break, I'm sure they'll put me in, and so I can't honestly tell you what I expect. I just expect to help us win whenever they put me in, and just help us get a dub. So whatever they put me in for, I'm happy with as long as we can just come out with a W.
You hear that?
You said a dub,
A
right?
dub, a dub.
That's obsolete too.
No, that's not obsolete. That's very in.
No, it's
if
not.
If you win, you get a dub. If you lose, you take
A
an
dub
L.
is obsolete.
No.
Man,
You don't know what you're talking about.
I'm telling you.
Chase Jasmin, you are from Westlake, right? Westlake High School?
Yes, correct.
That's a pretty big-time high school football program, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And where else could you have gone other than San Diego State?
I had a couple Pac-12 offers: Washington State, Oregon State. I had Nevada here, of course. A couple others are going to be honest, I forgot.
So
But,
why do you choose San Diego State versus, let's just use a Washington, which is a big name brand, kind of a now back to being a top 10 caliber sort of program? Why do you pick a Washington or San Diego State in this case over Washington?
Because I really believed in the culture here at San Diego State. When I took my official, I had a great time. You can't beat San Diego weather. You can't beat the area. And honestly, I trust the coaches that were recruiting, Coach Horton and Coach Morgan. I really believed in what they were doing here and their plans for me. So I just came here.
All right, you got it. Jasmin, this is an interesting conversation. Chase Jasmin had 116 yards. It's an interesting name also, Chase Donovan Jasmin.
Or Shizzle. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's very, very now
I
happening.
can't. I can't.
Chase Donovan Jasmin. That's a serious name you got on you, kid.
Yeah, it's catchy. Yeah.
Now, I also read one last thing, that you were a boxing competitor growing up. Is that true? You were a boxer?
Yeah, that is true.
Did you ever think you would be a pro fighter?
To be honest, when I was really young and I was boxing, yeah, I did. But as I got into high school, I started to realize that football is definitely the route for me.
Gotcha. Did you watch Triple G Canelo on tape after the San Diego State-Arizona State game Saturday night?
I did not. I unfortunately did not pay for it on pay-per-view, and I couldn't find a way to bootleg it online either.
Alex?
No, if you would have picked Washington, you probably could have paid for it. They give money out there. I'm just saying.
Alex, you want to tell Chase off the air how he can bootleg the fight?
I'll just tell you on air, dude. You just got to go on Reddit.
Oh, well.
You didn't miss much. I watched.
You know what Reddit is, dude?
Yeah, I know what Reddit is.
All right. Well, go on that. That's what Alex says. He knows how to bootleg everything.
Good looks. Thank you.
Chase Jasmin, you are a pleasure to talk to for the first time on Scott and BR. Thank you and continued success, my man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.